Hey guys, today I was going to show you how to trim up your squash and zucchini plants. A lot of people say that their plants do pretty good in the spring, but then they kind of get powdery mildew. They just don't produce as much. But if you trim these guys up, they should produce all summer long for you. And one of the main things that these guys get is a powdery mildew. Now I usually don't want to plant these this dense, but I did this just to show you guys. Now these plants, all along the bottom here, you want to trim off all these that are on the bottom. You can see this one, plant how it's turning yellow right there. You don't want that. So you just break it off there. And with breaking these off, it's going to want to grow some more. So that's why you need to keep an eye on it the rest of the summer long and continue to trim them. This one also, take off. See, that one's getting the powdery mildew on the bottom there. And all these things here, see how one plant is going over to another? This one right here is covering all the blossoms on that plant. So the pollinators are not going to be able to see those blossoms. So you want to just pull that one, just kind of pinch it right off. And you can take 30 to 40% of these leaves off and the plant will do fine. And also I left this one on here so you can see how this one got blossom end rot. That is because it was not pollinated. There was too many leaves over here and the pollinators could not find it. So a lot of people think blossom end rot is a calcium problem, which it is for tomato plants, but for squash and zucchini plants, it's about 90% a pollination issue. You got to get all this foliage out of here so the pollinators can find them. You can take all these leaves that are on the bottom. You don't really want leaves touching the ground. They just get damp. And then it'll start causing problems. I will bring you around to my other plants and show you the different variety that I have. But yeah, you want to get in here and just, here's one that's on the bottom here. And just pull that right off. I want to go through here and get all the branches that are crossing over to another plant. And here is a nice little squash bug that I don't want to kill. But you want to look, you have squash bugs, look underneath all your leaves to see if they have laid any eggs. You want to grab those eggs before they hatch, or you're just going to have little ones all over the place. Oh, here's some right here. See that? Those are the eggs. I just popped these right off. I can just break this leaf right off right here. And I'll go bring this leaf to the chickens. So I don't want those eggs to hatch, or I'm just going to have more squash bugs all over the place. I see when I look at these plants, you don't see a whole lot of blossoms. And those pollinators have to find those for you to be able to get squash and zucchini. So we'll go around here and just pop more of these off. I'll show you my other variety that I have. It looks a little bit, the plant that I have here, even though zucchini and summer squash are a bush variety, they do grow up. So you can get a stake here and tie it, and it'll grow right up that stake. This one I've trimmed all the bottom down there so it can get some pretty good airflow. But this one should continue to keep growing up the stake, and I'll have to tie it off again right there because it's starting to come over. But you can tie these things up and it'll keep growing up. And that'll keep it up off the ground. And we'll keep it dried up down there so it should not get powdery mildew. Guys, this is the other variety that I have. This is a heirloom variety. As you can see, a lot of people think that this discoloration in here is an issue, and this is actually a very healthy plant. There's nothing wrong with this plant. That's just how this variety is. It's considered a very healthy plant. So there's a few on here that I need to take off, like this one. See how it's turning yellow down there? It's too wet. We've had such a wet season this year. So I'm just going to take that right out of there. You can see it's pretty open down there. So he'll be able to get very good airflow through there. Help dry that out. This one down there. And this one, you can see this leaf is coming over and almost touching this plant. So I'm going to take that one right off because it'll just continue to grow and it'll end up covering the blossoms that will be on there. So I don't want that. The pollinators have got to be able to find that. I'll take this one off. It's pretty damp down there. Now we were going through a drought and then we just got dumped on for a week, so it's been pretty wet. Also, I see some eggs under that leaf. This one can come off anyways, it's pretty low. I'll just bring that to the chickens. Yeah, that is how I defoliate my zucchini or summer squash plants to keep them healthy. And you should be able to have zucchini or squash all summer long if you keep up with this. But thanks guys, if you have any questions let me know and I will try to get back to you. Thanks.